Hey everyone, my name is Michael and you're watching the From WordPress to Statamic YouTube channel. Today I want to follow up on our previous video, which was an introduction to images. Today I want to look at how to do image sizes in both WordPress and then Statamic. So let's just start by getting some images on the page. As you can see, I've got my Michael post here that we've been working with, and over here I've got this template part to show a gallery, but I don't have any images on the page just yet. So let's edit this. And down here, I've added an ACF field called gallery, which should just give me an array of images. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to upload a couple files. And let's select them from here. Let's get these three. Okay, we've got our images uploaded now. And as you can see, some of them are a little big, but that's okay. Well, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to deal with the sizes. So I'm just going to say, okay, let's use those images and update. And go back to the front side. Okay, so I've got this gallery here, and let's just open up this template gallery. So what's going on here? It's very similar to what we did last time, where I'm just looping over. This time, because it's an array, I'm looping over the images from the field, and I'm just grabbing the URL. So if we can look real quick, I'll just dump the data out. So I've got this array from images, and I have the URL there, and there are sizes here that we can work with. These are the ones that come with WordPress by default. But we can also add our own sizes if we really want to. So why don't we do that real quick? Because maybe there's a specific one that I want that doesn't correspond to what it gives me. So this is using just the raw image that we just uploaded. It's quite big, and we're going to create our own size now to deal with that. So if I go over to my functions, I'm inside of this after theme setup action. This is where we do all of our theme setup stuff, removing emojis and print style sheets and all this kind of other stuff. And this is also where I want to register a new image size. So let's call these hero images, for example. And if I want to define the sizes that will get generated when I upload my images, I can give it a name here, and then the two parameters for the sizes that I want. And we can do additional parameters for how you want it to crop and stuff. We're not going to worry about that right now. I'll put a link in the description if you really want to see that. So I'm just going to hit save. And in order to actually make use of this, if I upload a new image, I'll have access to this in the array that we just looked at. But right now these sizes don't exist because this happens when we upload the images. So if I go into my media library here, I'm looking for a way, how can I regenerate the image sizes with the ones that I have now? I can't do that out of the box with WordPress. So I'm going to look at my plugins, and I've already downloaded one called Regenerate Thumbnails. And this allows me to go back into my media library, and I can do it by bulk. It gives me this new option here. Or if you want to regenerate the thumbnail right there, you can do that on an image by image basis. So let's just do it in bulk right now. Generate thumbnails, apply. So these are the ones that we have already available to us. So let's just regenerate. And hopefully this shouldn't take too long. 1, 2, 3, there we go. So it took about 11 seconds. Okay, so now I should have those options. Now if I go back to my my person, let's go back to Michael. Let's view that. Okay, so I've got those. And I'll go back to my gallery. If I dump the data there. And I scroll down here. Okay, now I have this hero size, and I can go back into my output here, and I can, instead of URL, I'm going to pick sizes, and I'm going to pick hero, whoop, and just hide that now, and refresh. Let's take a look at what we have. Okay, so it's quite a bit smaller now. It's about a third of the size. And now it's corresponding to that 1440 by 960 that we defined in our functions.php file. Okay, so as you can see, there's a few steps here. I don't get this out of the box. I do have to do some configuration, especially for when it comes to regenerating the images. I have to get a plugin in order to do that. I haven't looked to see if there's any sort of CLI thing. Maybe there is, but through the UI, I do need a plugin. Okay, let's pivot over to Statamic now and see just how we can pull off the same stuff, maybe a little bit easier. So I'm going to change tabs over here. So I've got my Michael post in Statamic, and just like in WordPress, I've added a field here for gallery. So I'm going to open my gallery, and I'm actually going to upload those same images that we were working with over in WordPress. Okay, so I'll use that. And I'm going to switch over to my Statamic code there as well. So same kind of thing, like I'm looping over the gallery tag with the tag pair and just getting the URL and rendering it with Glide. And let's take a look. There we go. So I've got these images. First, let's just take a look at the images that get put on the page for me. And it should just be the raw image size. It's the full big image, full resolution. So if I wanted to do a different image size, like in WordPress, where I had this add image sizes function where I could define like my hero size, for example, probably the easiest way is to just define the width here. W equals 1440 and H equals 960. And let's just give that a refresh. And they're taking a second to load there because it's generating those image URLs for me now. You can see, there we go. So the image size is a little bit bigger than when we use the regenerate thumbnail in WordPress, but that's okay. For now, this does the trick. But I can actually define preset image sizes in Statamic using the config. I'm just going to remove this for a second. And I'm going to go back to our other image sizes. And yep, it's our big one. So I'm just going to go up into the config directory in Statamic, and there's this assets file here. And you can see it's returning this array with some config options. And this one is image manipulation. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here, drivers and stuff we're not going to look at just now. So I come down here to presets. And so here I can define some image sizes that I might want to use in my project. So if I wanted to add the hero, for example, I'll just uncomment this one that I wrote beforehand. Using that same size, maybe I think it was 960, was it 980? Doesn't matter. Anyway, so you can see this option here is actually defining what's the quality of the image that it generates based on the original. So if we want to reduce the file size, for example, I can bump this down instead of 100, and then some other configuration options we can do there. So hero. So if you can see the next item down here, generate presets on upload, I have this set to false, but it's set to true by default so that it'll generate these images for me when I upload the images, just like what WordPress would do. But it'll only do these ones that I define instead of this big array of image sizes like WordPress does. So this way, it'll generate them on the fly whenever I define my new preset in my template. So here I can say preset equals hero, and just give that a refresh. And if I look over here, now you can see it's using this defined size, and the file size is actually reduced even more than what it had with WordPress because I used that quality parameter. Now, if I wanted to use something different, this isn't actually a hero image in this case, so maybe I wanted to call it something else. So maybe this is for a grid, so different smaller sizes. We're using it in this context and not in the context of a hero. So I don't need this, 1400 pixel wide image. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to change this to grid, and getting a refresh there, and I hover over that. See, now I'm using the same size, 720 by 490, and the image is even smaller, which is exactly what I want. Now I can, as we talked about, I can set this back to true so that it'll only generate these when I upload. Or why don't we visit the docs for a second? We can actually generate these manually. So I can do this on the command line, PHP please, and it'll regenerate all of my assets with whatever configuration options I have determined here. Okay, so we have a lot of the same features that WordPress has in Statamic. Here, one of the things I like about this is that we don't get these presets automatically. If you remember in WordPress, it generates a bunch of different sizes automatically for us. So that can actually really bloat our uploads folder quite a bit. Here, it'll just use the images that I upload myself, and it'll only generate presets if I decide that I want that. Plus, it's easy to define them in the template just like this. I can use my presets, or I can define the height and width myself right here in the template as we looked at just a minute ago. I think this is much more flexible for determining the image sizes that I want to use. Plus, using Glide, there's way more stuff that we haven't even talked about yet. So I hope you can see and agree with me that this is a much better user experience, and we get much more fine-tuned control over images in Statamic than we would with WordPress. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to stay up to date, click the link in the description to sign up for my newsletter and get notified when these videos or articles get published. Catch you next time.